All right, everybody, my little buddy's back, so that can only mean one thing. Today we're talking about Hollywood Studios. If anybody is visiting Disney World, Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, or even if you're going down to Universal Studios, please leave a little comment down below. Tell me what your trip is going to look like, when you're going, and how that's working out for you, or if you recently took a trip. Again, leave some comments. Tell me how it worked out for you guys. I haven't been to Hollywood Studios in years. It's a beautiful but hot morning at Hollywood Studios, and we're going to try to get on, what's it called?
Rise of Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance. I'm the one with the channel, I should know, right? I'm excited to talk about it and just to relive it again with you guys. Like I said before, this is like an 8-part series. So hit subscribe. Let's talk about Disney a little bit. So this entire trip, if you haven't seen my previous 2 videos, was spearheaded by a friend of mine who happens to be a travel agent. We all took a little trip to Disney World. We called it a Mancation, which I kind of feel like I really don't like that term. It was a great way to get to know some people, and the 4 of us guys who went, we'd all known each other a little bit separately, but we didn't know each other that well, so we kind of developed some additional friendships while we were there, which was awesome. Which, by the way, all of his information will be right down here right now, but also you can find it in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything more to book through him than it would for you to go online and do all the booking yourself and do all the research yourself. If you're really into that, then awesome, go ahead and do it. But he can help you save some time and energy for yourself, so go for it. Go ask him. Because we went with him, he knew immediately what we needed to do in order to get onto the newest and biggest Star Wars attraction, Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance was a very popular ride, or is a very popular ride at Hollywood Studios, and I can definitely understand why. It is a very fantastic ride, but I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, because the first thing you have to do is you have to get an access pass for Rise of the Resistance, and it is very hard to secure your space in line for that ride in particular. Many of you may be used to my Cedar Point videos where I have discussed at length what their access passes have looked like this year. Access passes at Hollywood Studios is 100% different. First of all, there's only one ride at all of the parks that uses access passes. So basically what we did was we walked down Sunset Boulevard. We are here at the Hollywood that never was and yet always will be. Even though really that theming is kind of weird now. We're gonna be trying to get as many rides as possible in today and hopefully be able to do all of them. So let's see what happens. Instead of getting into a shorter line, we just kind of walked around a corner and hung out where we had a bit of space away from people. That way our phone bandwidths are a little bit better, and we did not use any of the park Wi-Fi available at Disney. But in order to reserve your space, you have to be so fast on the draw to get what you are looking for. If you do get it, you're not having to stand in a line that is 2 hours long. I think the line that we stood in for this ride was only like a 20-minute line. But unfortunately, that does mean a lot of people are not chosen for these passes. So you do have to prepare yourself that you may not get onto the biggest and best Star Wars ride that there is right now. Our first ride was Hollywood Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is just one of my favorite rides. It's so much fun. Again, a lot of all of Disney has to do with atmosphere for me. There is so much in the atmosphere, and the gardens of Hollywood Tower of Terror, I mean, they're pretty, but it's not until you get inside that it becomes something really special, and all the cobwebs. It's a really pretty place just to walk in, and I love all of the additional theming that goes with some of these rides, especially at Hollywood Studios. Seems like a relatively busy day here at DHS. Kind of loving it though. We just got off of Hollywood Tower of Terror in about, I don't know, 40 minutes overall. Pretty good. The next attraction that we went to was Muppets Vision 3D. Out of all the things that were really hodgepodgey, this is probably the hodgepodgeiest. It's a show just with Muppets. I'm sorry, but it's not good. It's kind of an awful show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff at Disney that's cheesy, and cheesy is one thing, but this is cheesy and it doesn't make sense. It probably was a waste for the day, but I think we did literally everything at Hollywood Studios, so who cares if it's a waste? It was still really fun. I mean, there is nothing at Disney that I'm not going to enjoy. I mean, it was on our way to someplace else and we could hit it, so we did, and that was great. When you are eating and drinking at Disney World right now with COVID restrictions and with masks, you cannot be walking around while you are eating and drinking. However, you can be stopped in a line 6 feet apart from other guests, or at least you could. That has changed within the last couple of weeks. At the time, it was kind of nice. We stopped really fast. We got something to drink, had a like a Coke just with us, or with me, ready to go. And then as soon as the line stopped, I'd just take a drink, which was awesome. A great time saver. And I think at Universal Studios, that is still something that you can do, but that is not something that is allowed at Disney anymore. Also, when you go into Muppets Vision 3D, you start out in a very large open room, but it's very clearly marked off with big red dots where every party can sit. Inside each row of the seats is marked off so that you have basically like a group of seats, and then every alternating group of seats, 5 people in a row, and there are a few different parts of the rows where you have more seats than others. Just so you are aware though, if you have more people than that in your party, you will have to split up either in 2 rows behind you, or you will have to split up just with a couple of extra seats between you and the other members of your party. The child was looking just a little bit drunk there, but then apparently he wanted to just fall off my shoulder. What's wrong with you? Why do you hate me? By the time Muppets Vision 3D was done, we were already ready to get on to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and it was pretty cool. This ride is made up of basically 3 different ride mechanisms. Also, if you don't want any kind of spoilers, I really want you to skip all the way to this right here. You guys, I'm so nervous. The first order is gonna get me. I know they're gonna get me, and I'm scared. All right, for those of you who have ridden the ride or you don't mind spoilers, here is what this ride is about. It is such a cool ride. It's such a cool experience. It's basically like a motion simulator that you stand up in, first of all. And even watching videos of this, I mean, I've seen some videos of this, but you don't understand what all this is. I mean, when you're watching the video, you think, well, that's just part of the line, right? It's just a show experience. No, it is a ride, and it's very fun. So basically, you get on one transport, and it transports you, and then you get intercepted. Oh, my word. This is so cool. Oh, my word. And you get on this trackless ride vehicle that takes you all around. And basically, it's like each ride has like its own storyline, or at least that's the way it feels. Those ride vehicles go into this little compartment, and then you have basically like a Pandora World of Avatar flight simulator. Always a lot of details to try to take in, and I'm sure if you're a bigger Star Wars fan than I am, because I'm really a fake fan, I just watched all the movies last year. If you haven't watched those reviews, watch them. I will put them down here. You will cringe all the way through them. Tell me how cringy it is. It's really fun. And if you're a bigger fan than I am, you're going to get so much more out of it than I ever got. Look, it's my buddy BB-8. Documenting my capture will do no good. That was what I was just told. That ride was absolutely amazing. I've never ridden anything that takes you more off guard. There's so many different twists and turns to it, and basically like several different types of ride. And it feels like you all have like an active part. I love that. Man, he's drunk again. Stop it. Lay off the alcohol. Rise of the Resistance was literally the first thing that we saw when we came in from the old New York area. We didn't see any of the land. So as soon as we came out of Rise of the Resistance, it was like a whole different world. And it was just so cool. Half of all of these videos is just me geeking out about theming, but the theming is so pretty. And very, like, everything looks worn. Everything looks like it could be hundreds of years old. Everything looks like it's been repurposed. Like, it's, at one point it was a house, and then it became a shop, and then it became like a mechanics area or a restaurant. Everything has history behind it, or at least that's what it looks like. Imagineering truly outdid themselves. And again, they outdid themselves because Harry Potter Land was such an amazing success. So they needed to have their own, and Pandora weren't it. we stand a good Pandora, but I'm sorry, it's not nearly as good as Star Wars Land. We love you, Chewie! Now, like I said earlier, we decided that we needed to get a little bit of food. The best way to do that is to use the My Magic Experience app and to plan your meals in advance. We just did a virtual order on our food, and so now we are waiting in line to go into the store to look at the merch that they have here. When COVID is over, I would still recommend that you should make reservations for your food. Use the My Magic Experience app. Really utilize that, because why not? They make the food ahead of time. They know when you're planning to come, and you will have a seat ready for you when your time is called. So basically, as people leave, like, it does all the waiting for you, and you can go do other things. And what we did was we went shopping. I didn't care anything about any of this because, like I said, fake fan, but the details and the immersion, even in the store itself, is incredible. Coming in here is worth it just for the scenery alone. I love this. Whoever owns the shop really loves them some porks. I mean, I can't say I blame them. Some incredible, like, fish tanks. Of course, I'm sure I've gotten every terminology wrong talking about this, so you can put your corrections down below in the comments. Please be as mean as you can, because YouTube likes mean people. I'm pretty sure he's the employer. Thank you. The algorithm will like me more. Guys, this is like the coolest, best themed place I've ever been. This is so cool. Everything here looks like it's been used and reused again and repurposed for new things.
They are no use to me.
I think this is like the 6th thing that we've done today, including seeing the characters, and we're about to get on Smugglers Run, I believe.
are free to go.
So, this has already been a great day. Our next ride was Smugglers Run. I actually kind of liked Smugglers Run a little bit better. This was like our 6th attraction at the time. We had already seen 3 characters. We'd ridden 3 rides. We'd eaten. It was only like 1 o'clock. We had so much time left in this park, and we just were able to accomplish so much so fast. I love it. If I'm honest, one of my favorite parts of the ride itself was just walking around the Millennium Falcon. First, you see it from the outside, and you walk all the way around it and see all the details of the bottom part of the chassis of the Millennium Falcon. This is more detail than they would have ever put into even the movies, because you're having people walk around and looking at and scrutinizing every last part. It was so cool to see. And then as you continue to walk through the line, then you go upstairs and you go past it again. I love the theming in these lines. Just being on the back side of the Millennium Falcon, like, you can't get much better than this. I know it's dorky, but the cracked paint, the rust spots on the door, all that kind of stuff, I'm just so here for it. It's so fascinatingly awesome to me. I'm in the Millennium Falcon. You think Han and Leia might come out from that room right there?
Pretty sure both of them are dead.
Oh, what a buzzkill. Now, there are some parts of the line where there would have been shows before, and those shows are still open and you can see them, but it's really just a part of the line at this point. They would have probably rushed everyone in like a group of hurdle, a group of hurdle. Like, they would have herded you all in like a huge group of cattle. Instead, they have just spaces where you're 6 feet apart. You stand there, you watch, you move forward. It's great. You have 3 different things that you can do. You can be the shooters, you can be the steerers, or you can be the mechanics. I think it's that, and there's 2 for each one. I would definitely recommend you either be a shooter or a steerer, and I would recommend being a steerer, being the pilot. That was a blast. I'm not quite sure how much we changed anything, though.
Yeah, well, you're just going for high score. we did terrible.
We got 38%.
38%.
For posterity's sake. And that is where I'm going to cut this video off. Otherwise, you're going to have like a 45-minute video to watch in one take. So there's plenty more that we saw at Hollywood Studios, and you can watch out for part 2 coming in about 2 weeks. But thank you guys for joining today. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribing turns you into a bona fide Disney fan. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's true. So you should definitely subscribe. And I will see you guys in another couple of weeks. You have a great day. Bye.